I was at a food court with my sister, who I remembered was visiting me because she hadn't seen me for a while. We had our late-night snack and left. We were heading back to the apartment, as it was late and we needed to rest up for the rest of the trip tomorrow. Only it wasn't the apartment complex I remembered living in that we passed through. None of these monoliths of wooden bricks seemed familiar to me in the slightest. It was strange. After emerging from the blazing cold winds of a snowing blizzard, we arrived at what seemed to be an old inn or hotel in make. The walls were adorned with bronze wooden structures and all manner of doors and numbered signs, none of which had any sort of rhyme or reason to go by in their organization. They were effectively unnumbered and blurred. There were no stairs, and I expected to be in my room so I could get a decent night's rest. It was difficult to navigate to my room, as I didn't know the building at all, and each hallway seemed to be the same. It was strange. As I would try turning right at an intersection, I would find myself on the opposite end of the room I had just been in. I couldn't travel anywhere. I didn't know where I was. After traveling for what seemed like hours, through endless hallways and intersections of a duplicitous nature, I arrived at room and lay down on a bed, which was not mine. This bed sat between walls covered in posters and album art for rap artists and pop stars alike. I sat up with a start, and ran out of the room to find my sister, as she was nowhere to be found. Calling out her name, I had no idea where she had gone off to. Not that I particularly cared. She could find her own way, I thought. But then I realized that the elevator I was in was not moving up nor down. It was standing still. For no particular reason, the entire universe had decided that I could not find my sister and not find my way. Ever again. I do not remember passing through those halls again, nor do I think that I leapt through the zephyrs of ice that I traveled into once before, but I did arrive back at the cafe. I yelled for my sister, but she was nowhere to be found, and the people around me could not hear me and did not respond. It was strange. They drank their coffee and ate their snacks in relative silence, only speaking when I spoke. It was as if they didn't want me to find my sister, or even to hear my own voice. I took a right turn and suddenly came upon a massive shopping center. I hadn't seen this place before. I had. Not in reality, but in my mind. It was a pearly white effervescence of businesses not yet in the realm of creation. Knockoffs of various food and clothing retailers lined the walls, but were flat, as if they were just facades for me to see, but not touch. These and the entertainment outlet somehow next door to every single store, but it was only in one place, were all knockoffs of real locations, but much more honest in their makeup. 20% markup on item X, 50% stock decrease in service Y, no customer service, $50, the signs declared. They were sellers who did not want to sell. I had the notion that my sister may be upstairs in the massive food court I had seen once before in a dream. I caught a glimpse of her shadow over the railing of that section, so I took the escalator after her, of which there was no down escalator. As I rose, the machine seemed to shrink in size. After a minute, it was only made of one guardrail, and I hung onto it for dear life, floating at least a mile above a sea of corporate signs and promises of greatness, never to be purchased or obtained. I was close to the food court, yet it was not what I came for. When I arrived, ragged and exhausted, I saw a green, grassy field. It was otherwise featureless, except for a tree whose canopy stretched off into the dark clouds above. My sister was nowhere to be found. As I fell onto the soft ground, I blacked out. I was in a dark void with nothing to guide me. I wasn't going to find my sister. My sister wasn't here. I was never. I